What's up, everybody? This is another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. I am your host, Edward Anderson. We're gonna keep it light, keep it cool today. But there's some stuff I wanted to kind of put out here real quick, at least for my channel. Think of this as more of an update, a channel update kind of thing. So, um, it's been a great 6 months. At least not well, my channel has been all right. But as far as as far as the space in general, it's been a great 6 months. You see the rise of Kwame Brown. Kevin is I think at like T minus I believe. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, Kevin is at T minus 16,000 to get to 1 million. And somebody asked me like, why do I care about what Kevin's doing? That's not me. Well, number one is because Kevin has pretty much collected 1 million people on under his channel, and that's a lot of like demographics under that. So even somebody like me, let's say I want to increase my channel to 50,000, between him and Kwame and a couple other channels, like those got a focused demographic. Like there's a certain demographic that watches basketball, like with Ticket TV. A certain demographic that's like gonna be attracted to like Kwame Brown, like a lot of black, like those are focused demographics. So it's kind of like I look at those just like when I teach internet marketing and they're looking for pages. Shout out to the dude that emailed me. We'll definitely set something up. Um, set something up and have a conversation. Because I know people have been emailing me about, trying to get out of what they're doing and maybe looking to make some extra money or some different money and some options. And I give you the best of my ability. I don't necessarily push what I'm doing. I push, I try to really figure out what you want to do and what's viable and what's out there. And if it happens that my shit is out there, then that is what it is. But anyway, so that's why I talk about that stuff. That's why even with Kwame Brown, that stuff is great because is a focused demographics. I mean, even somebody like O'Shea, you look at like, it really helps growth in multiple levels. And so it's a really good. Oh, I know I kind of talk about like it's tedious, new people coming in the space, but ultimately it's a beautiful thing if you know how to take advantage of it. Really, I've kept my channel small on purpose because I could easily like comment it my way up to 10,000 subscribers over time if I really wanted to. Getting on Twitter, really setting my channel up so people can subscribe to it when they find it. And I've purposely not done that because I wanted to keep it insular because I didn't want like what happened to Hammer, what happened to Roger, what happened to Game Changer. Well, nothing's recently happened, but people getting their channels fucked with. I want to be able to free flow because I really wanted this to be able to me say what I think as I think it. I didn't want the commercialism. And it's not that the commercialism influences what I say, because I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say irregardless. I even if I have to modulate what I say and how I say it, I know how to communicate things in a way to get the point across. Um, that's just the nature of the game. But it's been a great 6 months. I'm kind of thinking, in January, turn COVID happened. We're like 2021, what's gonna happen? What a stimulus check hadn't come around. Like you don't know. And you was looking at okay, what was gonna go on this year? And Kevin was kind of blowing up. Nobody thought that would be sustained. Nobody kind of would have predicted Tommy would be trying to come over here, in this space. Nobody would have predicted like somebody like Michael Sheen with 1.34 million would be on somebody's channel. Nobody predicted none of that. You never know. But ultimately, you've seen a lot of growth. You've seen growth. Well, not growth, but you've seen the start of a lot of female channels. As far as some people will call it pandering. I'm not saying they're wrong, but they're definitely adding to the conversation. When I say added to the conversation, I said it 6 months ago. I said that irregardless of who's in this space or not in this space, this message has to be, women have to deal with women. And my thing is, I'm not even necessarily saying you have to be invested in the community wanting to fix. Like at the end of the day, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. I don't never live in a perpetual state of I'm either in community or not in the community. At the end of the day, I'm gonna do what's in my own best interest. I'm always gonna do that. And I have certain criteria that I want to do, and I'm gonna make it. I know how to make it work. The numbers, it may be harder to make it work, but I'm used to that. So yeah. But ultimately, there's a lot of opportunity out here, even on YouTube. A lot of people talk about YouTube, even especially in our space. And I didn't necessarily know it's not even about going mainstream, because understand something. So I keep telling y'all this, and some of y'all are listening, but I could tell people are not in this channel, but maybe generally. You're seeing a merger of social media. Think of it like, Mortal Kombat with Outworld, or for the y'all don't play Mortal Kombat. Think of it like, when you see a TV show, a movie, and they'll talk about like the planets are aligned, and it's like all the planets are aligned, and it's like this special situation. That's kind of what you're starting to see. You're starting to see a merger of main media into social media, or an integration in that. And as you see that, you're going to see certain people going to have access to certain things they might, as they're going to speak to stuff. I mean, remember, ESPN is its own app now. I was, inside, NBA TV is its own app. I was watching Inside NBA TV with the show in there. And it's app, the TV, but the technology is progressing. I talked about this years ago, like 2 years ago. I said, this is where it's going. I talked about that. And so that's that too. And as that, people are coming, and then COVID just really completely helped, shit out, because people had to sit their ass down for the first time and probably look at, kind of, people got updated to like where the new media is, and that's not going back. Just like how people buying shit from Amazon, it's not going, oh, well, they do it, then it's going to rebalance itself. It's going that way. And y'all are starting to see what people talked about. That's all. And, Kevin has kind of gotten, the first taste of that, but you don't need 1 million subscribers in order to really be seen. Now, Kevin, I'm going to keep it all you want. People talk about going mainstream, whether that's positive or negative. It is. And you have to learn how to adapt. There are definitely positives to it. There are definitely negatives to it. Because things can get kind of diluted a little bit, but ultimately the environment is going to, I put trust in the environment. We know where the environment's going. We know the environment is going a lot. The environment is changing more rapidly than we predicted. Think of what BGS said about that coffee shit. Like, a lot of people didn't think that shit would really happen. Not as fast as it's happening. So for a lot of y'all to get kind of antsy about it, I was like, look, man, the environment is gonna keep people honest. People can't afford. The thing is, blue pill shit works when everything's moving at a normal pace. When everything's moving like it's supposed to be moving, that's when blue pill stuff works. But the reality is, it's not working. It's not. It's not working. Like, the stuff that people were able to depend on, or that subsidize people's shit, is completely getting wrecked. It's completely getting wrecked. And then they're not planning on putting that back. They may pretend like everything's fine, but they're going to do that. It's not. And so the environment favors our line of thinking, because because you have to think about it. You got 50% of black men, 53% of black men who don't have kids. And then out of those 50% of black men, because a lot of these motherfuckers that are bottom shelf are the ones that are getting kids. So a lot of dudes, most of those dudes are very productive. That's value in an environment where, shit is getting fucked up. And it's not to say the jobs are not plentiful and shit, because it's motherfuckers paying $15 an hour working McDonald's. I'm talking about in North Carolina. The reality is, motherfuckers are lazy. Motherfuckers don't want to work. That's really what it is. So and jobs will be plentiful for a time being, but the shit is just, it's musical chairs. What's up, Josh Jones? Up, Jim Rat? What's up, Just Being Jazzy? Pharaoh, Calvin. I called it. He got 1 million subscribers before Jim Rat. Yeah, I mean, the question is he gonna get it before the end of the month? And I said, well, you called it. Everybody people kind of saw that. Well, I ain't gonna say that. Everybody didn't see that, but at least in our conversation, But the July one was where it's going to be close. But my thing is, there's a lot of opportunity, and not even just in this sector. Like even shout out to Ticket TV, shout out to Casino. You got a lot of other sectors. It's not. It's kind of like people pay so much attention to this solar system, they don't go past the solar system and see, hey, there's a new world. It's kind of like when you leave your neighborhood for the first time when you was a kid and you saw, oh, there's a new world. You know, even though it's kind of like, you know, not too far away from it, or when you got your driver's license for the first time, if you New York niggas got on the bus and shit, it's a new world. Yeah. Last time Blue Pill Agenda worked was when things were smooth. A lot of 90s us is why Gen X is the last generation that holds on to old school. You know what? That's actually a great point, Xanatos. And really completely like a fucking washing machine now compared to that. Because even in 2010, shit is crazy even compared to the 2010s. And it's the reason why is because the 2010s took time for stuff to set. It took time for like the cell phone technology to get where it needs technology, for the TV technology, these motherfuckers to finally start fiber fucking optics, which one of the things I do want them to do in an infrastructure bill that's kind of way past should have been did is they got to start getting in these rural areas when it comes to these fiber optic cables. That's not fair that they put it on the corporations to do that. It's not. That's one of the few things I will side on the corporations on. They need to go ahead and give them the money to do that because, and I'm gonna tell you why. But why? Because when it comes to buying housing, it forces you to have to be in approximation to other people versus, you know, you got houses that are developed in rural areas like subdivisions, and these the shit costs X amount of dollars. And it's like you talk about satellite internet. I'm like, man, I'm not paying that bullshit, and that's all the internet I can get. That shit matters, and millennials are gonna be paying attention to that. So that shit needs to be laid fuck down. Like that shit, honestly, if you just throwing money out, that should have been one man finally took care of. And for the most part, that's helping white people anyway. So it shouldn't have been a reason to get in front of, like, really defend that because you're helping that white demographic anyway. And then, but that also helps other people as people, especially even indirectly, that helps black people as you see black people get away from, as white people start to go more in the cities and black people start getting more in the suburbs. You want that shit to be laid while they're still there because they're not going to want to do it once white people are no longer living there like that. And BGS is right about us getting good about, you know, using legislation and not wanting shit to have our name on it all the time. He's spot on about that. And that's something that I haven't even always considered. And that's like a kind of political conversation I think is a lot smarter to have. But for all those of y'all that's been telling me to watch Jason Black's stream that he did a couple of days ago, I watched it. You know, one with the bitch having her son take a picture of her on Instagram shit on the balcony of Brickell. Yeah, that's some hoe shit for real. But yeah, you know, Jason Black, I told y'all, he knows what the deal is. And telling niggas they need to be superheroes is my thing. Yes, you can play the self-improvement card, but what people don't understand is if you telling dudes to self-improve is great, but those dudes are going to expect the counterpart. They're gonna find that counterpart, whether it's a black woman or not. That's the problem. That's what nobody and your money. So like women will say, "Well, I make all this money." First of all, you make all this money because the white man is bestowed you to make it. You don't make this money because you actually outcompete black men. You make this money because you're put there to create chaos. So how much money you make don't mean shit. You might as well be like an OnlyFans model, talk about I make all this money. So that's supposed to mean something. I'm like, well, you ain't spending it on me. Like, and I'll give you a perfect example. Shout out, you know, Alexis Ohanian. Serena is shout out to Mike. Serena is giving him money to buy tech companies. That's why her money means something to him. So chances are, if they ever leave, keep it. Think about it. Think about the situation with Alexis Ohanian. This is the trap, and this is some funny shit. Because Alexis Ohanian makes so much less money than Serena, Alexis, or whatever his fucking name is, he's in the Reddit motherfucker. He's in a perfect position to get her money and use her money to buy shit. And when I say use her money, I don't mean just take. I mean give her the money back. She's literally like a walking venture capital shit. And if they ever break up, what is she gonna do? Like, unless his shit blow the fuck up in which he gives her a payout, the reality is if those things take time and they lead a relationship, truth is Serena's worth more money. So Serena's the one that's more on the hook. If they leave amicably, that technically it benefits him, but it also benefits her because she's worth more. So he'll have to pass her for that to actually mean something. And by then, that he would have got what he needed to get out in a relationship. That's to see black women don't really think that. Number one, black men don't think that way. And number because it's not that big of a gap. And number two, women would never let a black man do all of that. The only situation you've seen that with is like Mary J. Blige when they're involved in their business. But like I said, a lot of white dudes, they see black women come up and they be falling for that because of that white sperm they be wanting. But she young, so when women talk about what money they bring to the table, I'm like, that shit don't. That's an example of what that would mean. If you really want to be tactical about things, Black Men Cloud could use Kamala to push a pro IR agenda, but use black women, white men face to pass it through the less resistant than if black men. Well, absolutely, but and that's the kind of game. I mean, shout out to Primetime. I'm in the gaming sector heavily. Yeah, there's a lot of sectors. Shout out to Ticket TV. I usually deal with more of his basketball updates right now because sometimes he puts a lot of videos out, so it'd be like I ain't trying to be subscribed to all that because that'd be taking up my feed. But Ticket TV is the truth. Like I've seen him now. I finally figured out how to do what he does with those like when he'll have those thirds in front, and I'm a duplicate. I'm not gonna completely carbon copy it, but now I know how to do it. And I got I've been had the software to do it. I didn't even know how to do it. I had to figure out how to do that. Yeah, he was talking about Tommy Sotomayor. Yeah, I got AT&T as well. I got AT&T for like my internet and stuff. I got AT&T TV. I'm pretty satisfied with it. And now that I think about it, my shit is gonna go up by the end of the year. I already know. Shout out to Carcino as well. Carcino does a good job breaking a lot of this shit down. He went on Ben Simmons last night. Yeah, man. But Ben Simmons not ADOS. Ben Simmons is from Australia. So, it ain't like, you can't charge that to light skinned niggas because he ain't ADOS. Trae Young is ADOS. Booker is ADOS. So we can claim them. Shout out. I'm sure Xanatos Clutch be like, man, I just watched to see the light skin motherfucker whoop ass. You like Devin Booker's Xanatos. Shout out to LaMelo Ball. Anyway. We gotta represent because we're a minority. Especially when it comes to that sports shit. I had AT&T and Tech. That fiber optic was okay, not good for. No, I mean you gotta. It just depends. Like I said, I get happy what I get because I use Ethernet cables and all that. So I got that shit all over my house. I got the hookup. No, my max. Oh shit, no, I've got hell no. I'm way higher than that, dude. I can get like 400. I can get like. In fact, if I really work with it, I can get like 600. Zach Levine and Klay Thompson. Yeah, 600 MPS. You're like, damn. That ain't fiber optic. What you talking about? You talk about that. Even with Wi-Fi, I do better than that. But, and I don't even really need the shit to be that fast because I don't do live video editing, but I gotta do a lot of upgrades. But anyway, as far as the channel goes, let me go ahead and jump into that. Like in the near future, there's gonna be some changes to the channel. When I say changes, I don't mean like I'm gonna go ahead and switch up on y'all, but I'm like it's more of an evolution. And one of the reasons why if y'all hear me on panels like Roger or Kev and other panels, like I push back against that female shit. When people be talking about it's a man space, because I'm letting people know straight up. My channel is not a democracy; it's a dictatorship. And I definitely take feedback, good, and I want to deliver a better product for you all, and even if it's in the form of a conversation. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not here to beat up on bitches. That's not what I do. Now I'm very candid in what I say, and as you all have observed me when I'm actually interacting with female, I call bullshit for bullshit. I don't sit here and do the go along, get along game when it comes to bitches. Shout out to Kwame Brown, because that's you got a lot of bitch go along, get along game niggas where they look for females for validation. Y'all should know me by now. I don't need women to validate me, and I'm not in a space of I'm trying to have sex with you when we're having these conversations. So I have no need or incentive, and even in real life, I don't do that. But I'm damn sure not because I'm damn sure not over this phone or over this computer going to be. Oh, I need you to be cool with me because I might want to holler at you. I don't. No, that's no. I don't even look to the internet for that shit. To be honest with you, I'm still from the old school with that. And I get that. That's what a lot of people don't think about. A lot of y'all are in this internet dating shit. So y'all look at YouTube or social media as another mechanism to meet people. I don't look at it that way. Not for maybe for business. And even in business, I never really dealt with it to a certain extent outside my internet marketing stuff. But I damn sure don't be looking at these bitches trying to fuck them online. So you got to realize that it's a lot of y'all computer love niggas that be doing that, and that's where a lot of that comes from. I don't think that way anyway. So y'all ain't never got to worry about me fucking, agreeing with a female. If they say the water, the sky is yellow, and then I agree just because y'all ain't got to worry about that. And I've demonstrated that in this space. But my thing is, if I ever start to bring women more on here and the conversation starts to, include them more, y'all are going to need to act accordingly. Like I'm gonna keep it 100, and it's not even about increasing it for that because I'm always gonna look to have more dudes. But if my channel goes from 95-5 to like 70-30 or 80-20, I mean, keep in mind Tommy shit is probably like 66 30-33, and then it's not even all black. So my thing is it's gonna have to be prepared for that. And if some of y'all don't want to hear that, then y'all don't want to hear that. This is not gonna be some of y'all see y'all way out. But I know some motherfuckers, shout out to Rael and Kuru, but they talk about, well, yeah, man, we subscribe, we got a right to demand. I said, you don't got the right to demand shit because I don't really got to talk to you. And the thing is, I can really say anything I do on my channel is my fucking channel. And if I'm on somebody else's channel, yeah, you don't need to say that ain't gonna be the time to get at me about what the fuck I'm doing on my channel. That shit, like, understand that that's a conversation that I choose to entertain. I don't have to entertain that with y'all. And as an individual, you could just not watch. I mean, real fucking talk. Just like how there's certain channels I don't really watch like that because of whatever reason. It ain't even about, like, I don't like them no more. It's just whatever reason. And if I don't watch, if I'm constantly going, I'm not gonna have that shit just going through my feed and then I'm not watching that video, so I'll unsubscribe. It's nothing against them. I still go to the channel. It is what it is. Just like Jessica X. I'm not subscribed to Jessica X, but the algorithm to feed me something from her, and sometimes she has some interesting shit going on, so I'll go over there and check it out while I'm doing something else. That don't mean I'm just listening to her for hours. I'm always checking out what's going on in space. But you got folks that they want to talk about like it's a man's space. And I understand where they're coming from, but ultimately what I say on my fucking channel goes. And people will say, well, I'm not accountable to none of you motherfuckers. Because the reality of the situation is a lot of y'all that talk that shit don't even donate to me. So we can't even get into the fact of do y'all give me money. The ones that do ain't usually the ones talking shit. Smurgo is probably one of the most vocal dudes that gives me money. The rest and everybody else, they're relatively cool. So, and then as far as subscriber count and viewership, well, you got to remember, I'm getting newer subscribers too. And then people will talk about, oh, well, the commercialism and all of that. Man, dude, I know y'all don't think that this time matters. It matters. And a lot of y'all that have panels to come up on, like I'm not gonna pocket watch nobody, but like take Ramil for example. Ramil don't be doing this shit all the time. And Lord knows Ramil be getting paid for the hours that he puts in. But at the end of the day, Art Igmore is up about once a week. Art Nostal is doing it a lot more. So there are enough panels. I mean, shit, you got Cuda. You got mad people. But, having this stuff up takes time. The StreamYard has made it a lot easier, to be honest with you. Hell, but a lot of people, some of y'all are entitled. Some folks want to be entitled, and I'm like, dude, at the end of the day, I know what you think this is, but this ain't what y'all think this is. I choose to entertain some of y'all critiques, and I do now critiques, but I can at any point for any reason be like, no, and that's it. And and a lot of dudes like to think, oh well, we you know we can say no, you can't. You do what I allow you to do when it comes to talking to me on my channel. And I'm pretty much an easygoing guy, and I like to take feedback because I value feedback. But at the same time, if there's a direction that I choose to go, people have a right to not come along with me or to see how it goes and come back. But that's your rights. And then and most of y'all ain't even content creators, so it's not like y'all gonna start, oh well, look at what Edward's doing, blah 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 blah. Because why to give you a perfect example when it comes to the women, and this is how short-sighted some people are. Like, no, they take Jessica X off the table for a second. Let's take some of the other women I've shared. Let's take, technically Kendra is kind of like sanctioned, so she don't count, but she's got more subscribers than me. Let's take Avery Woodley. Let's take Chantel Simone. Let's take, somebody else that or Nurse because she interacts with some of them more than I do. I may use their channel to get another audience. Like when I say audience, I'm not talking about women. There's a lot of dudes that go over there. So I may go over there just so people have my channel wired a certain way, and then go over there just to attract the audience. There's plenty of dudes I could go to as well. But a lot of dudes, they want to hear a dual conversation. Shout out to Donnie and them. So they may be able to there's some people they know that can have a dual conversation. And y'all got to get out of this being so worried or scared about like, whoa, what does this mean? What does this mean as far as, women are lying? I mean, it ain't that serious. It's really not. Because if some of y'all are scared like that, then that means to me, that means y'all are most likely simping and bitching up in the real world. In the real world, when y'all get around a chick that looks decent, y'all don't know how to act. That's what that kind of tells me. To me, if a chick is on some bullshit, I'm going to call that out. If I disagree, I'm going to say I disagree. And if we need to iron it out, then we're going to iron it out. It ain't going to be no, oh, well, I'm just worried. And blah, blah. And then people say, oh, well, people going to just start trying to find agreement with women because they paying enough. They're not paying me enough, number one. And number two, it's never going to get to that extent because I'm not going to outright, I'm not going to outright lie for no couple of dollars. I'm not going to do that. I'm just not. I'm not going to start saying the water, stepfatherhood is it's a viable option for quality up. No. Now, if dudes want to go ahead and say, fuck it, I want to do it because I want to bargain basement for a bitch that I could get a better looking bitch, then fine, that's your choice. That's your choice. And as a man, you have a right to make it. It's a dumb choice, but you have a right to make it. Just like I had the dude on Kev shit, not Kev, Roger shit, Rob. And Rob is a guy I want to talk to one-on-one because he's like, I just disagree with the manosphere. I'm like, nigga, okay, you can disagree with math too. That doesn't mean that makes you this is where niggas start saying, well, because you have an opinion, I have an opinion, then that means it's valid. Only black people do that more than anybody. Talk about, well, are all opinions are held equal? No, they're not. That let's have a conversation. Let's see where the bullshit is. Because you talk about, well, I just disagree to disagree. Nah, fuck that. You're not gonna be able to just disagree just to disagree. You want to have to back up what you're saying because my thing is steel sharpens steel. So there's something that I haven't considered. It never is. It never is. But I'll ask a question, and then you start going along with it. We start going through the details, the addendums, the clauses, the contracts. We start going through the fine print, if you will. And you start to realize, okay, well, it's just you got gaps that you just chose not to address because your bullshit don't stand up to it. And what happens is you'll get on panels and then you'll turn around and then you'll pollute panels with your opinion that ain't built on or backed on shit. Your opinion ain't even built on any reasoning. Your opinion is just like it's just built on you just want to believe that, so fuck it, I'm gonna believe it. I don't even let women get away with that. So I ain't gonna let dudes get away with that. And these are the type of dudes that you got going in the real visible world. They want to argue based on feelings, and then they want to say they want to say, well, I'm not trying to be this or be. It's not about that. The question is, I value accuracy. So the question is your opinion yours because you're more accurate than I am? There's something you're considering, or it's just you got a feeling and you want to feel a certain type of way and you wishing upon a star that you're gonna be valid. This ain't religion. This ain't no, well, you can't prove God is real, but you can't prove he ain't either. So we at a standstill. No, 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 no. That is not what this is. That is not what this is. Just like when you got people coming in here and they think they gonna, like, you saw how I got annoyed with Miss JD like a couple of weeks ago. They think they just gonna come over here and sell the bullshit over and 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 over again. I'm like, no, you're not gonna do that. That's not what's gonna happen. Well, it's from a woman's perspective. No, you don't get to say, well, the sky is purple because of a woman's perspective. You don't get to do that. Just like how I told that chick Mahogany, she want to talk about the shows that she was on. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a damn about that. I'm on this and I work with this. I work with that. I don't give a damn about that. You're not old shit. Just like so do a lot of us work with all these channels. They bullshit will be called out too. You ain't special. You come in here with that, these girls are young shit. I'm like, this is 2021. That means that these young girls were born. Fuck that shit. Don't come here. Oh, well, I was young. You kind of disqualified yourself as soon as you said that. Yeah, folks are no. And I don't gotta say that to beat and see, I don't have to beat up a female to say that. I can call the bullshit out. And a lot of y'all, what y'all want to do, some of y'all, and I'm gonna keep it real, a lot of y'all want to beat bitches up. And I think that's where we're gonna be at a very big disagreement. If a motherfucker's on some bullshit, then yes, I'm gonna go hard in the paint for that. But understand, I'm not here to beat women up. And the reason why y'all need to be real careful about that is because y'all create this image that we're angry and we're hurt. I like for real. And I don't give a damn if y'all are. Y'all need to go ahead and practice some fucking self-control. Y'all really do. Because I get tired of people talking about motherfuckers need to self-improve and y'all mad because I get tired of that. But y'all feed into that. And and the thing is, we're in 0 hour right now where you got more people coming into this space. And I don't care. Dudes are not on YouTube for their help. They're not. Folks are trying to increase their subscribership. They're trying to do the right thing, but do the right thing in a way that definitely, gives them. And what people are not, and I know y'all don't care because y'all are just listening, but they care. And at the end of the day, if y'all make people choose, they're gonna choose what's in their best interest. And y'all can just be mad, but y'all gonna be mad. And that's all y'all gonna be. Like straight up. Now, this is not to say that, BS can't be called out because y'all know I'm one of the main ones calling it out if it needs to be called out. But at the same time, I also have some kind of thing where it's like, okay, well, people are gonna do what they're gonna do. I say what needs to be said just so nobody can say it was not said. But I don't sit there and I'm like constantly trying to, be like, what is that 3-headed dog? Oh, well, this space needs to be protected. Da, da, da. At the end of the day, man, dudes are gonna do what they do. And I don't have this kind of linchpin on the space where I'm just scared that it's gonna just run away from me. I got more confidence in this space than a lot of people do, it seems like. And ultimately, I know for my channel, I'm gonna do what I do. And again, that's why I told Roger needs to speak up because a lot of it is he'll let people get their opinion. And like the habitual, there's a reason why I went over there with them. And it ain't just because I like them, because they want to facilitate a more, balanced conversation. And I trust that they'll do that in a way that is not going to allow the planet to spin off orbit. They demonstrated that, all of them. And they all have different experiences. When I say them, I'm talking about Kev, Donnie, and Roger. So, I push people over there, and they're good at keeping people to stick. But so when you have people to come over there and then they talk about it's a man's space and you need to do this and that, I'm like, well, you haven't read the fine print of what the habitual line steppers is about. You haven't read that because women are allowed in those spaces, and you can be mad, but you're trying to chastise me for the way their shit is set up. And what to call it isn't. Oh, because I'm gonna tell you, when you got that chick, what's that chick, that older chick, it's like 39. Donnie knows what I'm talking about. That's not gonna fly. Motherfuckers coming up like a lot of that shit Mahogany was dealing with. That shit's not gonna fly with them. That's why a lot of times they come on Donnie's stuff, but Donnie's channel is smaller. But Donnie's channel is not always gonna stay small. That shit's not gonna fly, and y'all are gonna be mad. And I'm trying to tell y'all right now, before y'all step past y'all station and make somebody have to check you, now you're gonna be mad. And then you're gonna be mad. Then niggas being mad and feeling like they right is a bad combination. Nigga, I'm getting bit like a motherfucker. Like for real. And that's why I'm trying to kind of put this shit out here. And it ain't just about the women, it's anything that motherfuckers want to do. It ain't even just about that. That's just when the shit tends to get like turned up. And then motherfuckers talk about other people or it's a commercialism or whatever. At some point, you're gonna have to compete and gonna have to evolve. That was the problem with 1.0. 1.0 didn't want to change. They wouldn't adjust. They took their ball and went home because shit didn't go their way, and then now they're upset. The 2.0 came and modeled that motherfucker. So now they're back, and a lot of them they can't grow their channels because they're still stuck on the 1.0 shit they're stuck on, and they want to lean on some. Well, this is what this space was intended to be. The thing is, and I got to tell you this: if you don't have any kinetic power or influence, what you say is irrelevant. And this is not just for audience members. This is true for content creators. And black people love trying to use being right, as black men love use being right as a mechanism, as a substitute for power. And it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. Like at the end of the day, if folks start to grow their channel, because you got more people to fuck with somebody that don't. And if people start to grow their channels and then you're just one person in the dark, well, you're just going to be one person in the dark. If they see that they're getting, more influence, more money, more subscribership. And so it is what it is. And now you can call it out. I call it out. But at the same time, people are going to do what they're going to do. And you have to be able to maneuver around that. And what I see is a lot of people that they really hold on to this shit. Like this shit is like the last outpost. And it's like, nah, y'all, that's not the most healthiest thing. It's really not. It's really not. Because ultimately, if y'all are holding on to it like that, like some of y'all, I know when y'all get in the real world, y'all, because how I am here is how I am in the real world. So I don't necessarily worry about it like that. And people keep talking about this space. If people care about this space, then they need to increase the amount of channels that are in this space. That way, y'all, people are not necessarily leaning on people so hard. People need to support the channel. Like Arta Igmore is male only. Ramil, male only. Support those channels. For real. And I already know he went in on Ben Simmons. Everybody went in on Ben Simmons last night. Yeah, black men, white men relationship judge a lot more than people hate seeing black men happy. Well, yeah, I mean, it don't even matter at this point because number one, black men are dealing with Latinas anyway. And even though Hispanics get mad about that, remember, it's only black men are only 6% of the population. So it doesn't take that many women from a percentage standpoint. Sonic, get Sonic when they're available in your area. Sonic. Okay, I'll check that out. I have AT&T, Maximum Melanin gone. Maximum Melanin gonna make a comeback. I mean, Suns and Hawks in the finals. That'll be interesting. I always get the highest meet since I don't buy cable. Trae Young versus Devin Booker in NBA Finals. That's gonna have a lot of people in a fucking feeling. But you know what? I'm happy Chris Paul. I want Chris Paul to get one. I do. I be hating on Chris Paul, but I want Chris Paul to get one. That's gonna have motherfuckers mad. Shout out! I saw that RDC World. Yeah, I saw that. That shit was funny as hell. RDC World is the truth. Here in Hawaii, I got Spectrum, Edward. What do you have against six? What do you mean? What do I have against six? Like, what do you mean? What do I have against six? I mean, I hate when people ask me that shit. What do I have against six? I don't have anything against. I don't really have a thing against six. Okay, my thing as far as the point six basically is a black love influencer, right? And on the con on so basically my point is the reason the biggest impediment of black love is the fact that black men and black women don't trust each other. The reason why black men don't trust are starting to not trust black women and that shit is only sliding is because black women are not trustworthy. Six will speak truth to power on some things, but ultimately six likes to use hotep sexuality as a mechanism of trying to influence black men. Six does a lot of gaslighting, as Black Hulu would say. Six is kind of like a personification of a lot of shit that Black Hulu talks about when he's talking to me about this stuff. And that should be called out. I don't care about her getting her money. I don't care about any of that. I would argue, I bet you Six makes more money than her man. I bet you she does, especially with her social media following. But I don't have an issue with Six at all. I don't personally have a problem. But when she does that little gaslighting or that, like she tries to, I'm attractive, so any dude that anybody that does it like fit what I'm trying to say, rather than actively engage in that, I'm going to like just hide behind, yo, I'm attractive and you're just not that. That's going to be called out because that goes to show you that she knows her arguments are not that strong. That's it. I mean, motherfuckers, see the problem the problem is y'all have this thing about again, remember what I said. If you like somebody, everything's got to be filtered through that lens. So y'all give people passive. If you don't like somebody, y'all are overly critical. That's not how I am. I call the shit down the middle. Where's the lies in what the fuck I said? Now, people that want to talk about black, like, and here's why that's dangerous. Remember when I was calling that, and I wasn't really calling it out. I wasn't putting the thing talk about six guys and then making sure she see it. I'm just commenting on what I see. But notice that what Boyce Watkins did. What Boyce Watkins is talking about, you hate black women and black children. That's actually the end result of the shit she starts. Now, I have nothing wrong with somebody talking about black love, but if you really believe in that, let's have a real conversation, which is the trust issues. And the problem is women believe that the fuck shit they do is sanctioned. And I would argue personally that Love Dorsey probably does a better job at really addressing that from a fundamental what black women need to do to create a better environment for black love. This shit. Now that's my opinion. That people will say, "Oh, well, Six feminine look good." Fine, I'll give you that. She is more feminine. But that doesn't necessarily mean that she's addressing the problem. And Six says some shit that's good, but she'll fall into that you can't tell me shit mode real quick. And I've seen it. I've seen it. She'll fall into that really quick. Oh, you're just this. You're just that. You're not a masculine man. Da 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 da. And when you actually press her on stuff, it's a reason she don't really engage with people like that. Because if you actually press her, yeah, and I mean on some simple shit, not on some like really hard. I saw that when Anton talking to her. You really, if you do something, man, that approaches like debating anything she says, yeah. But hey, I mean, she's not like the worst person out there on Instagram, anyways. She's all right. But let's keep it real. A lot of dudes care about what she says because how she looks. And people can get mad about that, but that's it. That's it. So it's not wrong, but y'all got to start looking at motherfuckers again. That's what I said. A lot of y'all are searching for people, and y'all are looking for people, and y'all are like, y'all should actually be a lot more cautious of people you're attracted to than people you're not attracted to. To keep it all the way real, y'all really should, and y'all need to be honest. If that's the main reason y'all listen to her, is because she looks good. And to keep it all the way real, like I'm not even gonna start talking about her, but because that ain't her fault. That's why y'all listen to her. But let's cut the bullshit. Look, just like that chick, that Hotep chick with the big titties, that O'Shea interview. Let's cut the bullshit and stop playing. So when you ask me that, it's kind of like So what? I'm supposed to go along with everything she say? I don't do that with nobody. I question BTS. Y'all know how I feel about Jason Black, and I've questioned his bullshit. Y'all act like I'm being unfair. Tammy a 304. I'm anti Smurgo. He doesn't think his shit through. Whatever. Hey moderator, can y'all add email? I'll put it in the comment section after this. What about lead attorney? You know, I try to go on lead attorney shit, and you know, I tried to I was respectful to this thing. I mean, shit happens, whatever. Lead attorney has a great channel. I mean, more professionals come into the space, the better. That's just, and I'm glad that he's getting the support he's getting. And so because and he doesn't agree with but he agrees with most of what we talk about. And he's not married and he's 44. I got no problem with women as long as they are checked. Well, my thing is sometimes it's worth check. Like in this space, I focus on the point. So yes, if you're gonna be challenged, I don't challenge people, just challenge people. But at the same time, a lot of dudes have this need. I'm gonna keep it real with you. A lot of you all want women checked so bad in this space because y'all are not really checking women in real life. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. That's personally what I think. Now, I don't think that's true with Rael. I don't think that's true with Black Hulu. Let me be very clear about that. I know that ain't true with Dre. Let me be very clear about that. But a lot of the audience, the reason y'all go like hard, some of y'all go hard on that, is because y'all see this. This ain't a safe haven for me. A lot of y'all see this as a safe haven, and that tells me that a lot of y'all are acting a certain type of way in real life. That's how I interpret it. I just don't say that because I ain't really trying to go to war with some of y'all with it. The, well, everybody says, even women say I'm pretty fair because I am fair. I don't give men a pass and women. I don't do that because we're all adults at the end of the day. That's the standard. We're adults. Well, she can be live. But the thing about it is, the thing with her, at least what I observed in that interaction, that she's on that woman's perspective shit. And I'm like, y'all gotta let that shit go. Y'all gotta understand that in order for if you're gonna have a black community, then everybody's gonna have to adhere to the rules. There cannot be no woman's perspective on the rules. There can't. Y'all gotta start calling balls and strikes. Y'all are not arguing with a male's perspective. You all are arguing with fucking facts and logic. Facts and that the point blank period. So when people try to talk about a male's perspective, or a female's perspective is needed, no, motherfucker, that's not what that is. That's bullshit. There is no female's perspective of 1 + 1 is 2. It fucking no female perspective on it is, and a lot of women like to use that woman's perspective for inserting their own bullshit. And I'm like, see, y'all are fucking up from the start. You're fucking up from the start. Like, you notice how when Nerd talks, she don't talk from a fucking female's perspective. The facts are the facts are. And another thing is motherfuckers always act like we don't ever take what they think into account in our points. That's not true. Like, just like with abortion, there is no female's perspective on having abortion. Y'all have control over the shit, so therefore that's on you. Well, it takes 2 to get pregnant. Bullshit. Y'all need to stop saying that, because if y'all can see, this is the type of shit that I keep saying. That's why y'all don't need the right to abort, because if it takes 2 to get pregnant, then you shouldn't have the right to abort either. If you want to equalize the shit, then let's equalize it for real. But see, that just the games that people play, and I'm like, yo, we ain't got the kind of time to be playing that. That's why when she entered in, well, women are young and they don't know, blah blah. No, that's not true. They're miseducated. Who are they miseducated by? Their mothers. But see, we never get to that conversation because that conversation always talks about what they don't know. That's done. Dudes are not hearing that no more because we know that's not true. We've been known that's not true. You're lying when you're saying it. You're lying when and black people and black people are big on what they don't know. And like even Robert Todd said there, a father's not in the home. Well, nigga, who chooses the fathers for their children? Well, a woman, I guess. So who chooses that? You get to make that argument to the extent I'm gonna allow you to make it if you're talking about people that got married and divorced. You don't get to, because at least we can prove a commitment was secured. If a commitment wasn't secured, that's a choice. Well, they're not educated. They come from that home. Bullshit. You might as well be telling me somebody's not educated and that's why they steal. I gave $20 to a dude today, a black man, dark black dude, talking about outside a grocery store, talking about, me and my daughter. I'm gonna keep it real. I thought he was lying. Thought he was lying. I ain't gonna lie. And he saw me look him right in his fucking eye. And I almost said, I'm gonna give you this money, but you and your daughter gonna go to hell if you lying. But I did say, dude, I hope you ain't lying. I left it at that. Cause cause y'all super chat me and in real talk, that was a brother, whatever. But cause my first thing is, why the fuck you go outside in 90 fucking degree weather and it's hot out here and you ain't got gas? Like, how the fuck does that work? Like, for real. And niggas like that is why they always got a security guard outside of something for motherfuckers panhandling like that. But I said, fuck it. It's a brother. Nigga actually tried to tell, and I almost didn't know. Nigga tried to actually tell me to go to well, man, can you go to the ATM? I'm like, yo, that is some dusty ass shit. And the thing I'm thinking about is like, a female actually impregnate. A gotta let this nigga hit and get her pregnant. And then they want to come in and talk about what they don't know. And that's another thing I would tell the Mahogany too. It's not that y'all don't know, it's that y'all can't be told shit. We all got younger women in our family. We all got motherfuckers we know. We know y'all can't be told a motherfucking thing when y'all are in y'all teenage years a lot of times. That's 16 to 22, 23. Y'all know everything. I don't give a fuck about hormones and development because everybody goes through that. Like you want to pass. And we're not doing this pass for bailouts no more. And it ain't that the manosphere is extreme. What the difference is, in the real world, motherfuckers just gonna lie to you. And they're gonna tell you as long as what they need to tell you in order to fuck, and then they gonna bounce. Talk about pump and dump. Before pump and dump, it was hit it and quit it. Before pump and dump, it was Netflix and chill. Before Netflix and chill was hit it and quit it. And by the way, Netflix and chill is something that women accept. Because at the end of the day, women don't require nothing from dudes that they like. Then when they sit there and a baby comes out of it, now you can't even get child support, enough money out of this dude child support, because at the end of the day he's a fucking loser. And then the only thing you can say to somebody like me is, oh, well, you must not get pussy because you ain't got kids. And then you wonder why. No. And then she'll sit there and she'll try to defend that. And I'm like, just like I do. Women can't be told shit. So stop coming to me with that bullshit. Then don't like, if you're gonna come like that, then don't fucking come up, because I'm not here for a female's perspective just so you can fucking give people bullshit because you wasting people's time. Now sometimes we can engage in that in order to show the audience like this is how deep these women are full of shit. And there's value to that, especially for the newer guys in the space. And a lot of dudes need to understand that and stop fucking crying. Or stop fucking hollering about that. Certain channels are going to be like that, and y'all just need to deal with that and stop trying to be the fucking police motherfucker. Y'all really need to let this shit go. TJ Rich, I want to spot on the Edward and boxing card with Ed Mansfield, not because I disagree, just because we in the same weight class. Bill is like, oh, whatever. I understand what you're saying, but one thing you have to understand, Eric, people are going to believe what they want to believe about us because we're black men. Absolutely, Archer, I agree with that. But there are still effective ways to counter that narrative. So you don't just say that, because it's not just so much about the people that want to believe what they want to believe. There's a lot of in the middle there too. And there's effective ways of dealing with that. Our actions will never disprove. That's not true, because the environment is already disproving the narrative. A narrative is a luxury. The environment is already removing that. A lot of these women try to play dumb at times, like they don't know what we be talking about. Absolutely, most of them try to play dumb. Even when Sister George was telling, she would tell me, yeah, you're telling our secrets. I'm like, the fact that y'all have secrets, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like I haven't said this before, but I'm gonna say it now. Women that can't be trusted don't deserve protection. You don't deserve protection if you can't be trusted. In an environment where I can't really artificially control what you do, at the end of the day, you have to earn trust. And if I don't trust you, I'm not gonna protect you. And this is why when random black men see random black females, like let's say she getting asked what by a dude, you don't know that woman didn't hit that dude first. You don't know that's not how that relationship works with those that dude. You don't know that she likes him and she gonna go back to him. You don't know that. When you bail her out of that situation, she's most likely gonna go right back and fuck that dude. Because that's how, like, shout out to Obsidian and that hate fucking. A lot of that domestic violence shit is a precursor to hate fucking. You don't know that. So you're supposed to risk your life engaging with physical violence that, by the way, black women don't respect because they ain't never had them hands put on them like that. Or if they do, like, they ain't never really been hit. So they don't respect that shit. They don't stay in a woman's place. You can't trust none of that. But then like the women that act the most defiant are the ones crying for protection the most. Ain't that some shit? Of a bitch you don't even know. So if you can't trust a woman, you should know. And the problem is in the general speaking things, you can't trust. You can't trust. Trust matters. Because men have to make an upfront investment on women and on women. So they have to trust certain things. And black men can predict the defiance. Black men can predict a lot now. And that all goes in the can't trust you card. So women stand to lose a lot. It's kind of like, interest rates and shit. Because a bank has to make an upfront loan, if you're not a good credit risk, you probably won't get the loan. But even if you do, you're going to get charged massive interest rates. Racism involved with that, but let's assume it's because you don't got good credit. It's the same thing there. Y'all credit is trash. And I'm just here telling you why it's trash. Now, you can sit there and tell me whatever story you want to tell me, just like as a bank, you tell the bank whatever story. You're still not getting a loan. They just, Well, and they're just going to send you a letter. Well, we'll think about it. And they send you a letter talking about what your credit score is and why you ain't getting it. Versus somebody, I've been on both sides of that. Versus somebody like me, where they offering you loan products because they already know they're going to get you through. And you can tell yourself whatever fucking story, just like BGS was talking about how some of the women in his family, so they starting to play that kinship card. They're going to be looking goofy as hell because that shit's going to work until they start seeing what other women are getting, especially when they start seeing their men do stuff for other women. And then they're going to get mad. And it's like, look, man, the contract's a contract. Y'all would rather work with each other and deal with each other and the bullshit that comes with dealing with each other than y'all would submit to a man. So we're not protected. You're not protected because you don't cooperate with a man. It all comes back to that. So let's stop, and by the way, y'all, nobody cares about you all. Cause see, once women start really going after black men, people gonna stop letting black women throw black men under the bus. You already see it with some of that Black Lives Matter shit. We saw some of them white women, shout out to David Carroll, talking about, if you sleep with black men, you need to care about black men's issues. Because now they're like, okay, this has something to do with me because I got to deal with this nigga. So now I have to basically terraform society to not punish me for dealing with this dude. That doesn't benefit women and that benefits men. I'm not here to probably talk about, motherfuckers need to interracially date. But the problem is the threat of a choice is really the main thing black men have. That threat, that's the only thing that men can actually enforce on women is to not deal with it. And unfortunately, it's unfortunate we've got to this point, but this is the cards that are dealt. And so saying things like black love, just declaring black love just for black love's sake ain't gonna change shit. It really ain't. Because as BGS said, black love is that matriarchal mating pattern. Black love is I want multiple kids by multiple men without having to submit to anybody. And then y'all raise my kids. That's what black love is. And you don't have to be anti-black love to see that. You can see that in how it's visibly used. But people are supposed to pretend that that's not what it is. That you're supposed to pretend and then just play the game. And dudes, and so many of y'all dudes are used to trying to have sex with women. Y'all don't know how to stop pretending. Some of y'all actually be believing the hype. Like some niggas know how to pretend about black love until pump and dump time and then they leave. But a lot of y'all be really believing that hype. Y'all really do. And they fish for y'all. They looking for y'all. And that's only gonna get more intense. They're gonna be looking for y'all. They're gonna be scamming y'all. They're gonna be playing y'all. They're gonna act like that's justified. Like, and a lot of y'all are gonna be crash dummies. Y'all gonna believe and y'all gonna get fucked. And y'all gonna be crying. Then work to counter discredit the negative narrative about black men. That's why I move the Oreo way I move. I hear you on the air where I don't see people listen to. And that's why I'm saying, Levin, everything is incentivized. What is the incentive to do anything? For there is no incentive. And for people that want to be ultra pro black, I was listening to Jason Black. One thing Jason Black said in the end, because they talk about creating strong black players. But like at the end of the day, if there's no incentive to anything because the women want to act wild, and even Jason Black acknowledged that the women were just completely corrupted by white supremacy, and they are just they even got he was talking about some real shit. But at the end of the day, you ain't gonna superhero. You're not gonna alpha your way through that because even dudes that are doing captains of industry are getting what black women just don't submit to black men. And at the end of the day, black men need to really start enforcing consequences on that. And at this point, it's scorched earth time. And that's and Matt Bus Driver can say what he want to say about SYSBM, fine. And you're not SYSBM if you're still in the community, that's cool. People can still use dudes that decide to go SYSBM as a way of saying this is a credible threat. So people can and I don't claim SYSBM like that, but this is why I support it. I have my own reasons for supporting it. And you're not going to tell me not to deal with those dudes because you want to enforce this black love. The reality is there is no enforcement mechanism. And this is what women have created it to be. And that's why dudes need to pull out. Dudes need to have a massive pull out of money, a pull out of resources. Stop even really dealing with sisters like that. Stop giving them any kind of attention. Grinch talked about this. That shit matters. That shit matters. And even when they come back, you still don't give them attention. You let them know, dudes are done. Ain't no, as soon as they come back and they start doing this, not please. Because the truth is, if dudes start really doing that, and then when they come back, dudes just jump back on, they're gonna punish you for that because they can't help it. Oh yeah, they're gonna be scamming is gonna be scamming is already rampant like a motherfucker, to be truthfully honest. And boys can talk. Boys, man, please. Boys, Dr. Clyde Anderson can't protect boys. Dr. Clyde Anderson has a lot of respect, but he don't have so much respect that he can protect boys. He can't protect boys. I'm not worried about that shit. Boys put himself in this shit by running his mouth. Luke Cage, they can say that. Look, Luke Cage said he said, a lot of black men will say there's a lot of black people saying if you go IR, you have nothing to say in the community. First of all, what community? That's number one. Second of all, those people don't enforce shit. Okay? The only thing they got is opinions. So let's keep this all the way fucking 100. The reality of the situation is that ain't nothing because at the end of the day, like take somebody like Robert Smith. If Robert Smith gonna give money, how many of these niggas don't take it? How many of them like take it? Let's say Robert Smith want to give Umar $1 million. You really think Robert Smith Umar gonna say I'm not gonna take it on the grounds of he ain't with a black woman? Get the fuck out of here. And that's to the extent that people want to do that. Also, what are you getting from the community anyway? You're not what are you BGS asks, what are you actually losing other than the genetic piece? Which, to be honest, you can go intercultural dating if you care about that as much, which is why I promote that. You ain't losing nothing. So that's some fake shit to make it seem like you got a card to play. You ain't got a card to play. And that's what you say to anybody that says that. You be like, what am I losing? Oh, but you don't have a say. Motherfucker, you don't have to do what I say. You don't have to do what I say. But if I wanted to date non-black women and make a channel about the black community, you can't do shit about it. Shit. Fucking Phil from the Advice Show got a channel of what, 800,000? That's some shit that people say. So I don't even take that serious. Motherfuckers have no power because they have no reward punishment mechanism. I'll give you a perfect example. Don Peoples was in Jason Black's Gentrified documentary. You think, like, come on, please, man, please don't let them. Now, if you just in here giving your opinion to be giving your opinion, you know, it is what it is, but please. I admire Kevin and Old Man's Black Love approach, but us SYSBM important many black. Well, first of all, Kevin Samuels say love ain't got shit to do with it. So I don't know what you talk about with Kevin. And to the extent, Obsidian ain't really talking about black love like that. See, the problem is y'all gotta stop being binary. Y'all gotta stop being like, okay, it's either on or off. It's either you going full interracial or you going full black community. Most black people are not like that. Most black people are somewhere in the middle. Because, like I said, you have this thing. You may want to be with black women, but at the end of the day, if you get more cooperation from non-black women, your dick is going to make you go with the non-cooperation. I mean, go with the cooperation. Especially if so. I don't even. I mean, how many times has Kevin Samuels what love got to do with it? Kevin Samuels was probably promoted SYSBM just by hearing these bitches talk more than Mad Bus Driver or anybody. Hell, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. Where Mad Bus Driver should be moving like a motherfucker in this space. And like as far as subscribership, any of y'all that's SYSBM, y'all say he your leader, which I get he came up with that. So granted, y'all should be pushing the hell out of that motherfucker. For real. Kevin, because there's a lot of dudes that's hearing what these women say and it's like, fuck it. See, a lot of motherfuckers be talking. I ain't even shout out to the $5, but I mean, y'all really need to be pushing the stuff y'all really believe in. This is a beautiful time if you SYSBM. You know, Donovan Sharp has his faults, but I ultimately like Donovan Sharp. I know O'Shea was talking about how Donovan Sharp always got to be a head nigga, but what I got respect is whether they black or white, he does that. I got respect for that. He don't bitch up when it comes to white dudes. And Donovan has said, sorry, like, you know, he thinks black men are superior and all that. So I got respect for Donovan. To be around them, really having those narratives, that takes balls. Tariq posted a video of a non-ADOS sisters basically telling American black men to date out because black women's here aren't worth the time, and he called her a bad wench, but she was speaking facts. I mean, he's gonna do that. I mean, at the end of the day, women sexually politic even amongst other women, and you know, of course he's gonna say that. Of course he's gonna say that, but because you know, and Tariq ain't slick. What Tariq tries to do is Tariq is trying to make it seem like all 9 ADOS black women are bad wenches, and he's doing that. And that's a low key, that's a real slick, really indirect way of keeping dudes dealing with sisters. Nigga, you deal with a biracial chick. You know what time it is, just like anybody else. And I hear him. I'm not trying to hate on who he picked, but this is the guy that said if you deal with a biracial chick, make sure the woman is white or non-black. And the man, like, she ain't stupid. And you gotta look at how these people move. Even if you don't directly call them out, y'all got to start having enough critical thinking to look at how these dudes move. Shout out to Jason Black, but like real talk, Jason Black said it again. He said he ain't got you. Jason Black ain't no fool. These people ain't fools. And when you understand that Jason Black has been to damn near every street in the United States of America, and he ain't got no kid, he ain't no idiot. They don't have to, oh, I don't believe in a red pill, the black. Well, okay, fine, don't. Fuck the brand. It's a lot. Like you got a lot of Republicans that will say some shit, but behind the scenes they do some completely opposite shit. I don't believe in welfare, but corporate socialism, oh, that's great. Like don't like BGS talked about that when he talked about, you know, what people put in the front storefront versus what they doing behind the scenes. That's a part of being able to recognize the game. Now I get why he does it, and I'm not saying it's insidious. Because some of y'all gotta be smart enough to read between the lines, and a lot of y'all want you to spell it out for you. So yeah, but when he say that, he can say that. He can say that because them women need to hear that. But the truth be told, intercultural dating, because think about it. Like, fuck, take Tariq out of it. Your Pan Africanists don't even promote intercultural dating. Tariq is not a Pan Africanist like that. So even the people that promote Pan Africanism, like Umar, don't really talk about intercultural dating like that. And I would hold Umar more accountable to that than anything. Like straight up. So I'm not even gonna jump on them because they're gonna say that because that's whatever. But you got to be able to read between the lines. And quite frankly, there's something to be said about having a channel that really explores Pan African relationships when it comes to diaspora. That might be something I invest in because that's definitely something that's needed. Because it's not all candy cakes and rainbows. You have to be able to discern the women that are on some BS because a lot of these 980 women are on some bullshit. They're on some straight bullshit. That black women are left behind. They're corrupting black women here because they can't check they men. They men will whoop their ass for real. So they try to come over here and scratch that itch. So I call it both ways. Make no mistake. Umar don't promote intercultural dating enough. Okay, you talk about once or twice. He don't promote it enough. So I don't want to hear that because I know enough about Umar that I ain't never heard that come out of his mouth. He don't promote it enough. Okay. So yeah, he may have said it once, but he don't promote it enough. I don't want to have no tick mark under there where you just blink. Fuck blink if you miss it bullshit. Dynas does it now, Jim Rat, but Dynas used to not do it. And intercultural dating ain't know how to telling black women how to get African men. Because I'm talking about black men how to get like ADOS women. So a lot of these guys, they're starting to do it a little bit now, but like for a long time they did it in reverse. And unfortunately, black men can't read between the goddamn lines. So I hear what y'all saying. They're starting to kind of sort of. I'm in interculture about to marry soon. Gave Ed the credit for the first person in space to promoting. I appreciate that. Shout out to Young Jay. I appreciate that. Yeah. Because the thing about it is, I understand the dude. Look, man, I'm not here. I'm not trying to have my grandkids look something I don't recognize. I'm not doing this work for that. So I get that. But this is why I always tell y'all, me personally, if I had to write how y'all should think, my thing would be you all have a complete psychological disconnect between who you're having sex with and who you have babies by. Because this is how other races do it. Other races will sleep with black women, they won't have biracial kids. Y'all need to start learning how to do that. Saying, okay, just like how that white chick uses you for a fetish, that's cool. You using her for sexual access. It's that simple. And so that gives you leverage. So it's like, oh, you hate black. No, I don't hate black women. I'm just not going to fight for your pussy because your pussy ain't no better than the next bitch. So you want to sit here and you want to be like, oh, well, you got to do this, this, this. Motherfucker, I'm 60% of the population. There's a whole bunch of women that are trying a lot harder than your ass on a physical level, a mental level, and a be around level. Now, do I want to have black kids? Sure. Yeah, now going to the intercultural dating part. So if you have a genetic problem where they act like, oh, we're gonna abort male babies, okay, well then we'll go import intercultural dating. Shoot, you got a sizable population here. Now, do you straight up? Straight up. That's how you do it. At the end of the day, you let them know. Ultimately, I don't got to deal with you. Well, what about ADOS culture? I'm ADOS culture. I can pass what the fuck I want to pass along too in my household. Y'all ain't the only ones doing that shit. Like, there's a way. So my point is, it's about options, and I do that to increase your options. Because a lot of y'all ain't out here necessarily looking for a wife. Y'all are looking. I need sexual access. You saw the sexual, and I get a lot of y'all ain't trying to trick. So you solve the sexual access problem. These women have no power. They have no power. They have no power. And a lot of y'all I'm not gonna say y'all can't get. I'm saying is people struggle with that, or they identify with who they giving sexual access, or they fucking with who they validate, and they listen to women doing that. Y'all got to stop that. But shout out to you, man. I'm not surprised because at the end of the day, Diamond probably has a more female audience than male, so he's going to do that. I mean, I'm not trying to hurt the business. I'm not trying to hurt that. Like honestly, I'm not gonna. I'm not because I'm. Who am I to tell him what the fuck to do? But like I said, y'all gotta get good at reading between the lines. Y'all gotta start thinking like insurgents. Y'all like stuff can't be spelled out. That's why I bring it up. Shout out to Dr. Nomalinga Sally Moses. She's married to she's from Botswana. She's come from Voice Network. She's married to a black dude. In Boston, Ados. So I mean, this isn't about well, we ain't picking black women. Look, the black women that know how to act will be all right no matter what happens. But for the ones that want to play, yeah, y'all gonna be left y'all own devices doing the kinship shit. Ain't nobody playing with y'all. So it's about leverage, and that's what this space is about. This space is about showing men you have the leverage, you are the prize, and showing them how to improve themselves. Remember what you can do, which is the capacity of what you can do, what you will do, which is what you're willing to do. So what your options are, how to leverage them, how to engage. That's really what the manosphere is about. And then what you want to do and doing it in a way where you hold the cards. That's what the manosphere ultimately is about. Why do we talk about women? Because women are the main environment by which y'all get fucked up. So anyway, I'm about to kill this broadcast. It's been great. Great conversation. I appreciate somebody I'll announce the super chats later. Hit me up with the Cash App. I appreciate that. But like I said, we're gonna have some really cool stuff going on in the channel. It's gonna be some really great conversations. I'm definitely gonna increase the conversation, the quality of conversation. Gonna be doing more panels. I will be better about running panels. I got my own style. I'm gonna develop in how I run them. I'm gonna definitely start doing more interviews. Now that I know I can get a good 150, 200. And I'm being interviewed by channel like some people you probably never heard of because I'm gonna be definitely doing it's more gonna be like collaborations in order to kind of speed up increase this channel. You'll see the channel kind of rapidly change because I'll probably free some stuff out, start putting stuff in the Patreon, and then start doing more uploads on top of the type of content I do. I'm gonna start being a lot more attentive to my other social media because ultimately what I want to do is get a lot of y'all on my Telegram so that way I can, if I upload a video, I can share it on my Telegram, or as well as on obviously in the algorithm, so that way we can boost this up. So it's gonna be some really cool stuff. Some really cool stuff. Nah, this movie is all Ados women ain't like that. Most of them are though. The rule of thumb on this channel is 1 in 5, which is 20%. That's the rule of thumb. You got to remember a lot of that 20% is married. That's the rule of thumb, 1 in 5. And honestly, dude, like everybody wants to say all Ados women. Like nobody mean like to me, I swear to God, that's like a low IQ. That's an emotional statement. When people say all this, all that, this is how you know black people speak from an emotional disposition. This is why black people speak. Yeah, but I hear you on a successful family thing, but the truth is people want to hold shit ransom. You're not going to hold the possibility of a successful family ransom for you to try to dominate the relationship. I'm talking about women. That's the thing. So if you really want a successful family, then it's kind of like you picking a car. If there's certain components you want in the car, you need to be like real critical and strategic about how you pick that. Meaning, if you all understand, well, I want kids, but I want to be black and I want a successful family, then y'all should be very well versed in the women that you need to deal with that can fit that criteria. This is why the intercultural thing is very important. And a lot of dudes, they have this thing where they want to be loyal to, Ados women because they want to be loyal to mama. You good. That's and again, this is not about saying, okay, well, you don't need to pick ADOS, you need to pick these alternatives. You use these alternatives in correlation with ADOS women. So the point is, you have these options so you can spread. The sexual access option is designed for you not to be thirsty and fall into a relationship under bad terms too early. So you can therefore have more leverage. That's what that's for. That's where the interracial shit comes in. The second thing, the intercultural thing comes in, expanding options by which, if you want to have black kids, what that looks like. And that's not African, that's African, Caribbean, whatever, Afro Latino, whatever. You got to be ruthless about that. But see, a lot of times when people talk about creating black families, what they really talk about is supporting and validating black women. Everything runs through the bitch, and that's a problem. You need to start taking the power back and say, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to be, I'm going to affect the outcome I want. Not know I'm going to worry about a female validating me or choosing me. That's a problem. And a lot of y'all have that language in your heads, and you need to change that. Because the truth is, you only need to find one. For all of y'all that want to get married, you only need to find one. And at the individual level, I'm not going to say that's easy, but that's not insurmountable, because most of the guys that really want to get married, they don't even talk about intercultural dating like that. Most of the dudes that want to get married, they don't even think about, well, I need to increase my ability to travel within the United States. So I'm not just dealing with people in my county or in my proximity. People don't even I can vet these women and have a whole bunch of full of women to vet. Ain't nobody thinking about that. Folks just fall into the motherfucker and then expect it to be okay. As black men, you should understand, when you fall into anything, appreciate the cash app, Janitos. And I'm collabs with people just to get more subscribers. Shout out to JR Wisdom. Shit, I've never really done a true collab with Xanatos. There's gonna be a lot of people I do collabs with. Cause it ain't the I subscribership helps, but it's also about increasing viewership. You increase viewership with consistency and also great conversations. So that's what's gonna really come first. Because truth be told is, if your viewership is strong, you can do what you need to. So I don't really pay so much attention to subscribe. I really don't. So yeah, people like, and if you notice, when people talk about successful families and black love and all this bullshit, you notice how they never talk about, they never go into real detail. It's always black love, but make sure you choose me. Like, shout out to Tasha K. Tasha K got an African dude. And think about it. Would you rather somebody like Tasha K be angry at brothers because she ain't got nobody? Because she said it herself. She said, I need to see that interview with her, Kwame. But she said, I used to have issues with black men, so I didn't believe in black men, because she was around a whole bunch of dumb niggas. I understand. And she kind of got over that because she had brothers, and then she found a dude she was. Would you rather somebody, especially with her follow her influence, be happy? Or would you rather her be mad because she ain't got nobody, but she couldn't take personal responsibility, and pick a guy that and know what she wants? I don't care, you know? Then you got people like Paris Milan. If they want to throw their nigga in your face, you go from getting a Nigerian dude talk about, I need to be checked, we need to be checked, and now you want to deal with a white dude. Like, bitch, shut up. You don't know what you want. You in Cali, you can't get the niggas you want because you ain't that bitch and you mad. The end. You ain't that bitch like you think you are and you mad. The end. The reality is, y'all on social media, y'all all think y'all need a superhero nigga that's a mega millionaire, and y'all don't want to compromise, and now y'all alone doing the African kinship bullshit with each other. You failed. You lost. Congratulations, you played yourself. Tasha don't hate black men. What are you talking about? Well, that's because they're the problem. Black women can't submit to nobody. Hell, Crystal and Karen couldn't truly submit to her white dude. They can't submit to nobody because they are the problem. I don't know what you talk about. I've listened to Tasha K enough. I don't listen to her channel all the time, but man, that chick single-handedly took down Derrick Jackson and definitely helped. Didn't he, I mean, obviously, she could have threw a wet blanket on Kevin and she did it to the point where women cussed her ass out. They talk about bitch. Why you acting like you actually admire this man? They were actually mad to the point where they make those shots because they're women. They're gonna do that. A lot of y'all, a woman say one wrong thing, like that's crazy. Like nigga, y'all be like seriously, y'all act like the women. Y'all act like y'all. You know what? Fuck this. Fuck your pussy. Get out. Y'all don't be doing that. Stop acting like y'all be doing that. Yeah, she's married to an African. Exactly, Xanatos. And for the most part, she's very fair. Like as far as a model for how these women should act with she's a very good model for that. Like, who would you rather deal with, Tasha K or Wendy Williams? Tasha K or Oprah? Like seriously. I mean, for real though. And a lot of y'all be like on some all or nothing. Be like, yo, I'm no man. And I'm not trying to promote her. She don't need us. It is what it is. Anyway, appreciate the cash app clutch. I'm gonna end this. We did about an hour and a half. Yeah, y'all don't be knowing what could happen. Like, could you imagine Tasha K if she did a collaboration with Paris Milan and Crystal and Karen? Like y'all be worried about like trust me, I know how to count my blessings. She does do all this for money. And I mean a lot of those women do it all for money. They hustling females for money. A lot of them are doing it for money. And that's why, a lot of y'all be talking about, I don't want women in this space. No, I want somebody that's gonna check that bullshit. Yeah, and she admitted that issues your brothers, dude. Like she said that. She said that. Like, so it ain't like she's hiding that. She said that. She said that in Kevin Samuels' interview. I mean, y'all, like, come on, y'all gotta stop doing that. That shit is kind of weak. When y'all be, oh my god, she said one little thing. I'm not worried about that like that. Anyway, y'all, it's been real. With that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace. Oh, by the way, Vern, a lot of these women are failed swirlers. I mean, Karen is like probably been the most successful of all of them, but a lot of them are failed swirlers because they want to actually. Because the thing is, and they don't understand. The more they swirling, the more they're because they're just giving that. That's why they've always been muted up till this point because they understand once they take that genie out the bottle, they can't put it back in. And now that they seen these commercials do it, it's really game over. I mean, you ain't gonna see it being promoted, but yeah. All right, Cortez, I get it. You don't. We get that. That's fine. Like, I mean, I get that you don't like Tasha K, but y'all be like, again, y'all be, oh man, fuck it. Well, I gotta make everybody else not like them to validate that I don't like somebody. I mean, whatever. If I hear her, if somebody got something recent of her saying some anti-black male shit, then yeah, send it to me. Edward Anderson 300K at gmail.com. Just click on my about section, click on view email, it'll pop up. I'm not against it if y'all got something to say, but y'all just saying somebody don't like somebody shit. Let y'all tell it every black bitch don't like black men. I get it. But somehow y'all niggas are still fucking black women. I didn't know, damn, that means she's as old as me. I didn't know that. I didn't know Paris was that old. Yeah. Because the problem is Paris is not a short. Paris strikes me as what, like 5'10", 5'9", because she played tennis. Them tennis chicks don't be short. She at least 5'8". So she's probably 5'8", 5'9". That means she needs a six. That means she needs a 6 foot nigga. She needs a 6 foot nigga. Well, we know dudes that are 6 foot are what, 14, 15% of the population. You're not segmenting for sexuality. You're not segmenting for money. You're not and then obviously you're in California where it's hard to come by when it comes to money. You in Northern California, which is really a motherfucker for black people. So yeah, so the dudes that actually can overcome that shit, those dudes are going to be wanted by like a lot of people, a lot of women. So of course she's going to be mad because she's in a hyper competitive zone. And white men are not checking for black women like that. And truth be told, Latin men are not checking for black women like that. Not ones that are at the level that she wants. Because you got to remember, Latin men are not tall like that unless they got a lot of white in them. So when you're dealing with Latin men, then their women are gonna keep them. That's one thing that people forget. A lot of them tall motherfuckers, they be kept in their own group. So you gotta compete. So when you understand that she's like 5'8", 5'9", already, I already know what time it is. I mean, Paris is not an ugly female. But the thing is, Paris is not oh shit, I'm about to, I gotta get that. No, not in California. Paris' best option is to go to Atlanta or something to move. Real talk. I don't know why any of these chicks didn't want to get mad. Why are you in California? Like, especially if you got a YouTube channel, you a black woman. Why aren't you in Atlanta? Go to Atlanta. You save yourself hella money. And you're not losing anything when it comes to a YouTube channel. You probably have better prospects when it comes to men, regardless if they black or not. You in a fucking gynocentric zone like a motherfucker. I don't understand that. Why stay in California, especially Northern California? Oh well, I haven't seen her without makeup prime time. I don't know. No, Vern, it ain't. So when you got like dudes that are like 19 years old and they talk about they 6'2", 2'4", I'm like, y'all got to understand from a genetic. And I'm not hating. It just these are the facts. Just like how there are women that if I was born in the 80s, me having brown eyes and being light skinned, that would be had the juice. And when waves were in, just like if Xanatos take his ass to Latin America, them motherfuckers. Oh, he got it. Oh, he's American. Oh, he's light skinned. So he's on that way. He's either where I want to be on the head. Man, please, Xanatos. No, Xanatos in the like the north, the west, the mid, the west shit. But he know. Like that's why when y'all do that select, non-select shit, that shit is not like stagnant. That depends on what women you're dealing with and what features you have. And what a lot of dudes don't tell you about game is they get good at dealing with their niches. They get good dealing with the niche women that like them, and then they want to call that game. That's why a lot of these motherfuckers tend to stick with the same bitch or the same type of bitch. Because they're like, okay, I'm pre-qualified for this type of person, so that amplifies the confidence and everything. Every dude ain't pre-qualified for every type of bitch. And that's the thing, again, reading between the goddamn lines. So maybe she ain't. I'm talking about from a body perspective though with Paris, but at the end of the day, and then just like how you got Kendra G, that chick that Kevin checked a long time ago. At the end of the day, dudes will be like, yeah, she's straight for the stroke. The dude she won't, and she playing with the dudes that will want her. That one dude, I get it. Like they playing, and it's like, bitch, you 44. Same thing. You 44. You ain't no Melissa Ford and Nicole Parker. Like y'all understand? Like I don't know what y'all really think this is. Once you get north of 40, a relationship is irrelevant. And I'm not trying to be mean. It ain't gonna be no relationship. It's gonna be some companionship as far as I know you and it's friends with benefits and we can chill if we fucking. Sure, I may take you on a date if you on the fuck roster and we can have a companionship, but it ain't gonna be her relationship. This is going to no, that's not how that no. And I shouldn't even have to spell that out. Burns said 6'2", 230. Yeah. And so automatically, it don't matter how much money you make. As long as you taking care of yourself or you ain't homeless, you got genetic currency just like that. And that gives you sexual access just like that. The only thing when people talk about game for somebody like you, they talking about it from a don't say nothing to mess it up type. End up. Hell, you got dudes that are your height that may be fat and they still get it. It is what it is. And see, the thing is, when women try to act like is they gonna give certain dudes no tax, and then they go tax certain dudes, and it's like, no, I don't got to do that because these other women ain't taxing like you tax. So if you gonna play that game, I don't got to play with. And that's the thing. And women, and that's why when you hear these women always talk about it ain't enough good men, what they saying is ain't enough men that they are sexually attracted to, or that they want because they have these hyper expectations because they like, I gotta have a sex tail. I'm like, well, then that's on you. You gotta compete for what you want. It's like a basketball player. Like, let's say you got somebody that wants to play ball. Like, shout out to BGS's son, and this is the international markets probably are not as developed as they are now, as far as you can actually go overseas and get some real money for doing some shit. Like that shit is a lot more developed now. That's why the NBDL had to be a little bit more viable, right? And you want some, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do, BGS is ruthless when it comes to basketball. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. It's either NBA or nothing. Even though there's plenty of opportunity and you might be able to find your way back in the NBA, right? And it's like, okay, well, you want this. This is what is required. It's the same thing. And it's not because, okay, 6'2" niggas are better than 5'5". No, it's because that's what that is a universal feature that these women want. It's about the market. It's a law of competition. It's just like how some chicks want light skin, they want brown eyes. I've been told that. It's competition. And dudes will try to sexual politic to terraform that, or they'll get real sensitive on that. That's why a lot of dudes be getting sensitive on Devin Booker, getting sensitive on Zach LaVine. They want to act like people don't see that, but they want to get real sensitive on it, because they know that genie got put back on the bottle and that pendulum swung back in the opposite direction. This is what a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't understand about the people of color shit. I told y'all shit can swing. Now, unfortunately, me and Clutch will probably be out of the prime dating market by the time that really swings back. But that shit could swing back. And see, that's when you'll see black people really be in their feelings, including black men. Anyway, Santeray. That's another thing. These women are trying to make it seem like y'all dating younger women is a form of being predators. They want y'all to not date a female that's under 30 because they want to talk about she young, she dumb, she ain't developed. That stuff, that's language that's designed in order to try to manipulate. Like, no, don't let these women tell you that, because that's sexual politics. They're not developed. Well, to be honest with you, if they're not developed, then y'all shouldn't have rights. Then y'all shouldn't have rights because you're not developed. You shouldn't have rights. So are you telling me that if a woman gets pregnant, should it be up to her whether to have an abortion or not? Well, if she's 16 years old, I don't think it is. You shouldn't have rights. So don't play the like I'm not developed, but I want to have all these extra rights. No, you shouldn't have rights. If you're not developed, then you should be in a child's place. Which means if you want to play that game, and people are not gonna play that game. Anyway, all right, y'all. It's been real. With that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.